Hi there, I'm Jack Van Ryn, Mayor of the Town of Coaldale. I will be giving you a council brief from our regular council meeting that was held December 12th, 2022. And the first item of business that came up was our 2023 budget deliberations. And we had our CFO and Deputy CAO, Kyle Beauchamp, present. And this was to ratify our operating and capital budgets. And we've had 4 previous meetings where we went through all the different line items presented by Kyle, and also different departments regarding operating and capital expenditures. So the budget comes with a 1.84% increase in residential property taxes and a 3.22% increase in non-residential property taxes, while maintaining service levels and investing millions in core infrastructure. So as per Section 244 of the Municipal Government Act, each year Council must pass a balanced budget. To balance its 2023 to 2025 operating budget, Council needed to find an additional $375,269 in revenue. Of that, $360,000 was to maintain current service levels and $15,000 to fund minor service enhancements. And the need for the additional revenue stems primarily from 2 unavoidable financial pressures. An increase of $274,493 in policing costs, 100% of which the town, due to its current cost-sharing agreement with the RCMP, must pay. And that stems from our policing agreement, where the town of Coaldale should be in a 70-30 split with the federal government, where we pay 70% and the federal government pays 30%. But right now, we're the only municipality in all of Canada paying 100% policing costs based on our population of 5,000 to 15,000. And that's something that council is still actively trying to get resolved. And the second reason for the additional funds being required is high inflation. So from 2019 to 2022, inflation has increased by 12.59%. So that affects every resident and commercial business in Coaldale. It also affects us as a municipality. Just to keep the lights on and keep the buildings heated, our inflation went up just like everybody else's. So now we have to try and find funds to offset those increases while maintaining the same level of service. So after much deliberation, the operating and capital budgets were passed at our meeting. And I want to thank council for their due diligence. Everyone around that council table is so passionate about their community, including myself. And we had to make some very difficult decisions. And at the end of the day, compared to other municipalities comparable in Southern Alberta, and also to use Lethbridge as an example, again, for us, we went 1.84% residential and 3.22% non-residential. And Lethbridge, for instance, is seeing a 5.1% increase in their property taxes. Medicine Hat, 4%. Black Falls and Ponoka residents will see a 4.76% increase and a 4% increase. And Innisfil residents will see a 4% tax hike. But in Coaldale, staff presented council with numerous options, most of which consisted in modestly increasing property taxes, franchise fees, and one of which consisted in cutting services. Ultimately, council decided not to reduce our service levels and approved a 1.84% increase, like I just mentioned, and 3.22% non-residential. Council also approved a 3% increase in franchise fees on utilities, keeping Coaldale either in line with or below neighboring Lethbridge and Taber, and well below comparable municipalities like Black Falls. So with these changes, Coaldale residents can therefore expect a projected average tax increase of less than half of what the residents in neighboring Lethbridge can expect, and for the foreseeable future. So as per the town's 2023 to 2027 capital budget, funding for some of these major projects and purchases have been allocated as follows. We are going to start in 2023 putting $1 million for road rehabilitation and asphalt renewal program. So in other words, we are through our asset management program, we have identified certain streets and avenues that are in much need of repair, and that involves a new layer of asphalt, new sidewalks as needed. And with the asphalt overlay, we do that on streets and avenues where the deep services are deemed to be satisfactory, because we don't want to put new pavement on a street or an avenue when we know that we have to replace the water and sewer lines deeper down. So we are spending $1 million in 2023, 2024, and 2025 each year for road rehabilitation and asphalt renewal program. We also are putting $1,275,000 towards the development of the outdoor space / plaza behind the town civic square building, including the construction of an outdoor skating rink in 2023. This project is primarily grant funded, so that's going to be an exciting project going in behind the new civic square building. We also budgeted $495,000 for renovations and upgrades at the Coldell Pool that include the installation of a water slide in 2023. We are also going to be putting in a barrier-free ramp for individuals to be able to access the pool and get into the pool with relatively ease. So we're doing that. And we're also going to spend $395,000 for a new hydrovac truck that will facilitate ongoing and emergency maintenance to the town's critical water and wastewater infrastructure. And that purchase will take place in 2023. Currently, every time we need a hydrovac, we have to hire a private contractor to bring that vehicle in to do emergency work. And the town of Coldell wants to be able to do that themselves with their own equipment. We also purchasing a new tractor and with a snow blower attachment to facilitate ongoing and timely park maintenance and snow removal. That's happening in 2023 at an $85,000 cost. We are also budgeting in 2023 and 2024 $500,000 for outdoor bathrooms and a concession behind the town civic square that will work in conjunction with that new outdoor skating rink. And we also budgeted in 2024 $1,085,000 for an at-grade pedestrian crossing at Highway 3 and Land O'Lakes Drive that will enhance connectivity between South and North Coldell. So if you're standing at the Tim Hortons corner facing north, we will have a at-grade pedestrian crossing that'll cross the 4 lanes of traffic. We will also be crossing the CP rail tracks, and there'll be a pathway going all the way to the new high school rec center. So that'll be taking place in 2024. We also are budgeting $1 million for enhancements to the stormwater ponds adjacent to the birds of prey. And that $1 million is contingent on a grant that we applied for that would be a matching grant of $1 million as well. So the birds of prey storm ponds are in much needed TLC. Since they were originally built in the 80s, there is such a large amount of silt buildup that we need to go in there and dredge and clean them out again so that they can go back to the proper depths so that we can use it for what they're intended for, stormwater management, but they also work very well as a wetland. So thank you, Colin Weir, for bringing that to council's attention. We went on a tour and Colin showed us all the problem areas. So we hope that we're going to be successful in receiving that grant. We also budgeted for 2024-2025 $400,000 to rebuild the existing skateboard park. And thank you to the Kinsman Club of Coaldale. They are going to be matching the town's $400,000 with a donation of an additional $400,000. And between the Kinsman, the town of Coaldale, we are going to be securing grants so that when we redo the skateboard park in 2024, it'll be something amazing for Southern Alberta that we're going to have right here in Coaldale. We also budgeted for 2025 $900,000 for intersection improvements at Land O'Lakes Drive and 21st Avenue. That will see the construction of Coaldale's first traffic circle. Yes, you heard it from me. We're getting a traffic circle. So when you're coming off the highway and you're turning in by McDonald's, Tim Hortons, you know that intersection that could be quite problematic. So to mitigate that, we will be putting in a 2-lane traffic circle in 2025 that will help with the traffic flow going through that area. We also are looking at spending $7 million for a new potable water reservoir and pump station, contingent on a $400,000 grant under the Alberta Municipal Water Wastewater Partnership Program, and that'll be taking place somewhere between 2024 and 2026. So those are the highlights of our budget deliberations. And in the comments section of this video, I will have the link to our entire agenda package, and I encourage you to go through that, and there's going to be lots more information. And if you have any questions, I'll have my contact information as well at the end of this video. The next item that we talked about under agenda item 4.2, we had a presentation that was facilitated by our Director of Protective Services and Deputy CAO, Kevin McEwen, who's also our fire chief. And this was regarding a fire master plan that we had consultants look into for us. And we had representatives of Bear Integrated Solutions present along with Kevin. And there's a lot of information here, but the draft Fire Services Master Plan is a comprehensive document that assists elected officials in defining how fire service delivery is expected to develop over a period of time, in this case 10 years, providing a range of recommendations and information for council to consider, assists in determining a level of service policy direction for fire services, and provides guidance to make essential decisions to provide a safe and viable community. And this stems around the fact that Coaldale is expanding to the west and to the north with residential developments. So we have certain criteria, benchmarks that we need to meet. And the big one is response times from our fire station to the outlying new residential areas that will be coming on stream in the next 5-10 years and longer. So we want to be proactive and get all our ducks in a row by getting this fire master plan completed. And council ratified that last night. And again, I'll have that in the agenda package. So thank you, Kevin, council, and Bear Integrated Solutions for putting all this work into getting this report done for us. Then under bylaws and policies, we had our CFO and Deputy CAO, Kyle Beauchamp, present on a utility rate bylaw, 860-C-12-22, where we passed second and third reading. And there were several variables as part of this bylaw, and I'll just go through them. The variable water consumption change increased to $1.20 per cubic meter, up from 1.093 in 2022, and that takes effect January 1st, 2023. We also did an increase in the bulk water. That's when people that live in rural areas or do not have potable water connections to their residences, they have to haul bulk water. So that went up to $3.84 per cubic meter. and previously it was 366 per cubic meter. And the reason for increasing the potable water rates has to do with the main one being is that we get our water from the city of Lethbridge. So when they increase the rate of what we have to pay for our potable water, unfortunately, at the end of the day, we have to pass that on to our users. So that's you and I. We also increased it so that we can start looking towards something that I mentioned earlier, is that we need to build a potable water reservoir. So that's an underground concrete bunker where we can store potable water that we get from Lethbridge, so that we have a backup capability. And also the big one is, in this day and age, water is becoming to be a very, very highly sought after commodity. So Town of Coaldale, as it grows, we need to purchase more water rights. We just can't ask the city to open up the tap more so that we get more water. We have to be able to allocate that water for Coaldale, and we have to do that through Alberta Environment, or we have to look at St. Mary's River Irrigation District as another water source. And that water, unfortunately, is very expensive, so we have to start saving to purchase these water rights. We also made a change as part of that bylaw, some wording changes for the solid waste section. We also increased storm fixed monthly fee from to $9.95 from $7.95. And something else part of that bylaw was the water meter fee updated for water meters over 1 inch. So in a commercial situation, we were putting in water meters and charging them to the customer less money than what we were paying for them. So we had to change those rates. So that was also done. And so the bylaw that I just mentioned, second and third reading, was passed at our meeting. Then we had a letter of support request by SAWA, the Southern Alberta Energy from Waste Association. So that was passed. And then we had Kevin McEwen, our fire chief slash director of protective services, present on a regional emergency management partnership. And the partnership has to do with all our outlying surrounding municipalities. And the discussion revolves, and I'll just read a short little blurb here, to request that council consider passing a resolution to enter into a regional emergency management model involving Lethbridge County, Barrens, Nobleford, Colehurst, Pitcher Butte, and Coaldale ourselves. And the regional system would see the implementation of one regional emergency advisory committee within Lethbridge County representing all the partner communities I just mentioned. The regional committee would consist of one member of council from each community and would meet throughout the year to provide oversight and direction to a regional emergency management agency. The committee itself would be created under a ministerial order to ensure longevity and stability for the system. This method for creating the committee would also allow for delegation of authority at various levels depending on the community's needs. So if we have a large event in any one of these municipalities or Lethbridge County, then there'll be a combined effort to do mutual aid. And this just is an excellent idea, and council approved it last night. And we also approved a letter of support. The town of Pitcher Butte will be quarterbacking this for us. So stay tuned for further updates regarding the Regional Emergency Management Partnership. Then we had a discussion with our municipal administration intern, Tom Anderson, regarding the Citizens on Patrol group. So Tom presented terms of reference for that organization that we're trying to set up, and we tabled the further discussion until we get the Alberta Citizens on Patrol Director to come and present to council, along with our RCMP liaison officer, Kyler Short. And that'll be coming up at a future council meeting. And that's basically it for our meeting. So again, if you have any questions, concerns, I'll have my contact information at the end of this video. I strongly encourage you to reach out to me. My email will be there. My phone number will be there. Stop me on the street if you see me, or any other member of council. We're always available. And do me a big favor when you watch this video. It's a lot of work putting it together. Please like it, share it, comment on it, and I would really appreciate you doing that. So anyways, I look forward to seeing you on the street. I'll talk to you again soon. Take care.